What's up, everybody? What's going on? So like I said, I was going to live interact to the Apple event, but taking a page out of last time where both my Facebook and YouTube got struck from Apple, I decided that I'm actually going to, well, I'm watching it from my tablet. And it just started, so we got some audio going right now. Saldana, speed testing, what's up, man? The day that we've been waiting for. Yeah, anything that has to unveil something new in tech is always a good thing. Now, I don't expect the live stream to get crapped on like it did when I reacted to the Google event. And that would be kind of nice, though, right? So, um, if you happen to have a spare device around, you're able to watch also, and just like follow along with me. That's totally cool. Totally sucks that Apple's not very lenient and allowing us content creators to be able to live stream it. That would be nice. There's a lot of bass in this. Well, these headphones are actually pretty good too. So the drivers in these things are really good. So I can hear the bass and everything. It's just music playing right now. No one's taken the stage yet for this event. So just hoping hoping. I mean, people are like, there's no 120 hertz refresh rate on the iPhone 12s, and you got to pick the whichever one. People were like, 5G matters more than 120 hertz. So we'll see. This is the day for all the Apple fanatics out there. This is D-Day for you guys. This is it. For us, Pixel lovers, Pixel fanboys, whatever you guys want to call us, we already had our time. So I'm watching the event through Apple. We'll be back when the event's over. Okay, cool. That's cool. But thanks for popping by, though, Gene. Appreciate it. So anyways, it's starting. Give a shout out to the members of the channel. That music in the beginning is the way to go. I'll say this. When it comes to opening an event, Google, pay attention. This opening music's kind of good. It's so dramatic. It just makes you feel like yes, this is the moment, the unveiling of it. That's what it makes you feel like. It's crazy. Time-lapse shots. Got my favorite beverage here with me. Just loving how everything's going. By the way, hashtag daddy daycare, because I do know that at some point my son will come in here and ask for something. So I may have to step away. There he is. Is it me, or does Tim Cook kind of sound like Forrest Gump? Yes. Obviously, and you dinged my channel and got me a community guideline warning. They've been that way, Tim. Looks like that might be going into the mini HomePods. Tim Apples. Timothy Gump. Okay. I'd have to say that the Apple ecosystem is actually well synced. HomePod. Siri's not that smart, dude. Mm-hmm. Which is here we go. What does this thing look like? It actually is a really good design. I like that. It looks like one of those one of those candle bowls that has like the little I can't even explain it. Like one of those styrofoam net things. Bob Borchers, VP, Worldwide Marketing. Yes. Do you notice that everybody that tries to like market Apple products tries to do it like Johnny Ives? Make Siri smarter. That's what I would say. Make Siri smarter. I can say that because I have compared Google Assistant to Siri. The only problem I have with the G Assistant is that it's too sensitive. If I was to say like the word like okay, oh, it could sometimes trigger it. That's it. But other than that, getting information from the assistant it's a lot better, in my opinion, from my findings, than Siri. That's nice. That is cool. A 360-degree sound. That's good. That's actually nice. Computational audio. It's pretty cool. I got to give it to them. Okay, the mini HomePod already starting to sound nice. That is cool. Having two in the same room intelligently on its own becomes a pair of stereo speakers. So that is actually pretty neat. Yeah, I like that. I like that connection between the HomePods and um the iPhone. That's pretty cool. Man, I hate to say it, but Apple Music is where it's at. Between using anything else like YouTube Music, I don't like it. Google Play Music was my thing, but yep. I don't know about that statement about it being the most popular in the world. I hope so. Faster performance, improved accuracy, more knowledge with Siri. I hope so. That's cool. That the HomePod Mini can access your apps on your iPhone. You can have the HomePod Mini basically directly send a message to somebody. That's actually pretty cool. It's got a little light show on the very top where basically the volume controls and the you know touchpad interaction happens. Voice recognition to set different profiles. That's cool. So not having to identify yourself, the HomePod Mini can identify your voice and pretty much interact with what you have on your iPhone without having to you know, specifically identify yourself. That's cool. That's freaking helpful. Yeah. How simple. Oh man. Okay. I don't find myself intrigued by the fact that the HomePod Mini can control like home smart stuff. I think it's great that they have it because you know what? It needs to be on both sides, right? Like not being biased to the whole thing, but you need that type of functionality in your smart home. So it's great. It's great to see the similarities with the HomePod, Google Home, and of course, obviously the home apps, what they can do. That's cool. Because if you decide to switch, you're an Android user, you want to switch over, you don't have to feel like you're losing anything from if that's something that you rely on quite a bit. Intertwined with smartwatch, the Apple Watch. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Um, so I'll tell you the production value of this keynote. I'll say Google, take a look at this. Not the products, but just it's a good keynote so far. I like the feel of it. I like the way that they're demoing things. That's pretty nice. So I'm talking about security, taking a stab at Google, talking about that you choose what audio recordings that the HomePod Mini will save. HomePod Mini, $99. Get the frick out of here. Okay. It's nice. It does a lot of cool things. I dig the audio technology inside of it, with the 360 sound and whatnot. But the HomePod Mini is $99. So if their competitor is Nest Mini, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Oh, now we're in the iPhone right now. So I guess majority of it is going to be going over each individual iPhone. Then I guess already we're at 10:14 a.m. 15 minutes into this thing, and already we're like at the iPhone. According to who, Tim? Yeah, people do love their iPhones. I give them that. It is. I will give it that. iPhones are very easy to use. And again, I'll admit it, their ecosystem is much more simpler to use. God, when he says things, he just sounds like Forrest Gump to me. Okay, he's talking about 5G now. The way he says that, we're bringing 5G to iPhone. It almost feels as if they're claiming that they invented 5G. Yes. Yep. Because 5G is the future. We know this. You can hear the enthusiasm in his voice. I can tell he's super excited. Any Apple fanboy is going to be super excited for this. But people still do, Tim. Yep. Every new generation of network connectivity is the most exciting. No, I don't know about that statement, Tim. Oh. Ooh, the CEO and chairman of Verizon is there. Hans Vestberg. Wow. You notice they kept that physical distancing? Yeah. People should stop saying about wearing a mask. They're doing the physical distancing. Come on now. They probably even got tested before they did this event. So people shut up. Yes, 5G just got real. Millimeter wave. Here we go. 5G ultra wideband to the iPhone. Here we go. No, it's physical distancing. Strike that keyword social out, man. Humans have to be social. You have to speak to somebody. You have to have conversations with people. Your social on the internet, your social 6 feet apart. It's physical distancing, keeping a physical distance between a person and me 6 feet apart. Don't buy into that social distancing, man. It's physical distancing. Peak upload speeds above 200 megabits per second. That's pretty good. Exactly. Capacity is key. And trust me, I'm studying up on 5G. I have so many different ebooks that I'm reading on about it. Yeah. That is pretty cool. I like that demo that they're showing on the screen. You're watching an NFL game, you got 7 windows simultaneously running so you get all angles of the play. That is cool. I'm a football person, right? So, yeah, latency, which means good gaming experience. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be cool. I want to hear about the gaming side of it. But see, that's the problem. It's only in 16 cities. Looks like they'll hit Oklahoma City, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston. Okay. That is cool. That is literally cool. I have to give it to them. 5G just got real. God, I can't get over Tim Cook sounding like Forrest Gump, man. It's so cool. Thank you, Tim. Let's see it. Opening the vault into the Apple Vault. There we go. Yeah. Oh, wow. Green, red, white, black, blue. Some nice colors there. Why not, Tim? You should tell us about it. Yeah, bringing back that box effect. Everyone loved that one. And a pretty smart move because I have to say that box effect with the chamfered edges on the top and bottom. Hmm. Green apple, red apple, blue apple. I'm sorry, I'm coming up with naming schemes for it already. 11% thinner than the iPhone 11. 15% smaller and 16% lighter. Super Retina XDR. Why are we getting a lesson on how OLED works? That's what I find interesting. Okay, here we go. 2 times the more pixels in the iPhone 11. 2532, and I missed the rest of that. It's 2532 by something. Yep. 1200 nits for HDR content. Okay. I see that. Durability. Okay. Ceramic shield. All right, we're getting a lesson on the durability of the display. So will it finally mean no more cracked displays? It's even tougher than Corning Gorilla Glass 6? Uh-huh. 4 times the chance of survival slipped out of pocket. That is great. All right, we're now on 5G again. I mean, yeah. So sorry I can't show this on the screen to you guys, man. If Apple wouldn't ding anybody for doing this, I totally would. Arun Matthias. Oh, that sounds good. The most 5G bands in any smartphone is on the iPhone 12. Mm-hmm. They optimize the frameworks in iOS. But how would you make 5G smarter? So, so apparently with these iPhones, if it's not beneficial to be on 5G, you will be scaled down to LTE automatically. But when it's something that 5G can be utilized in, it will kick on to 5G. Cool. Up to 3.5 gigabits per second. They tested on over 100 networks or 100 carriers. Millimeter wave support. They're on all iPhone 12s. Hmm. Right. They've measured over 4 gigabits per second, over 1 gigabit in typical conditions. Let's talk about the chip. The A14. We know. A14 Bionic. All right, let's go. What the heck? I like that. Oh man, I like that. Look for Easter eggs if you're watching this too. Whoa. 11.8 billion transistors? That is hella good news there. All right. That's good to know. Here we go. Gaming. Super Mario. Nope. Not Super Mario. League of Legends. Wild Rift. Sorry about that. If anyone got excited when I said Super Mario, I was just messing around. So basically, they're saying they waited until 5G was capable on the iPhone to bring this game to iOS. And the gameplay looks really smooth, and the graphics is holding up well. From this demo. Right. No Wi-Fi required. Game anywhere. That is why 5G is important. The growth of this technology matters. But right now, it's not a necessity that you have to buy a 5G capable phone right now. But as it rolls out, you definitely will need an upgrade. All right, here we go. They're talking about camera. All right. Ultra wide, 12 megapixel, f2.4 aperture rating. There you go. F1.6 aperture on the 12 megapixel wide camera. So dual 12 megapixels, one ultra wide, one wide angle. So on the regular 12 megapixel, it's got a 7 element lens, while the ultra wide has a 5 element lens. That's good. So they're taking a step in Google's direction with machine learning to correct photography. Ah, don't think so. Right? Good. Everyone with an iPhone from the entry level to the most expensive should be able to utilize this. That's amazing. All right. Yeah, I'll give them there. They have top notch on video. Now this is going to be good. Night mode, time lapse. That's cool. So Apple's going night mode, time lapse, and Google goes astrophotography. Like they're just so random across the board. Okay, that is pretty cool. That looks like a lot of fun. Wow, that's cool. Hats off to Apple for that one. So you extended the range that way you don't have to find that sweet spot. I'm talking about wireless charging, by the way. Oh yeah. All right. MagSafe. Okay. Yeah, they're explaining the wireless charging. Magnetometer, nanocrystalline shield, charging coil to get NFC. So they got cases for the iPhone 12. Okay. MagSafe wallet snaps magnetically to the back of the iPhone. You hold your credit cards. That's pretty cool. Belkin's working on accessories, car mount, and a multi phone charger. Well, charges your iPhone and your Apple Watch. That's pretty cool. Got to give him that. They stuck her on the roof. That's pretty cool. Net zero climate impact by 2030. Okay. 100% carbon neutral. 100% recycled rare earth elements in the magnets. Yeah. Great way to kind of pitch why they removed the charger box and all that from inside the iPhone box. And we knew this already. A lot of us had spoken about this. A lot of people have debated about it. People have talked about it. It is, it is what it is, right? They want to reduce waste. But even on top of that, most people have those iPhone charger box. So they're explaining it from, a protect the earth standpoint and reduce waste. Oh yeah, you guys know other will follow. Samsung's gonna do it. And I do believe that Google will probably follow in suit with the Pixel 6. USB-C to Lightning cable. So you can use your Pixel charger brick to charge the iPhone. All right. Something only Apple would do. So is this that one more thing? Another briefcase? And another briefcase inside of another briefcase? I like this. And they're using a James Bond theme. iPhone 12 mini. Oh my God, this is so hilarious. 2340 by 1080, 476 pixels per inch. 5.4-inch display and slightly smaller than the iPhone 8. 5G Super Retina XDR, ceramic shield, A14 Bionic dual camera system, MagSafe. Has everything that the regular iPhone 12 has. Smallest, thinnest, lightest 5G phone in the world. The iPhone Mini. I'm still just laughing at that whole James Bond theme, opening the main briefcase with the briefcase inside of it, with the briefcase inside of that. Opening that has the iPhone 12 Mini. That's funny. She messed up. iPhone 12 Mini, or just iPhone 12. Yeah, everyone's gonna go banana for the blue color, just like all of us Pixel fanboys went bananas over the Sword of Sage. All in 5G. Downloaded your entire playlist in seconds. Night mode on every camera. Wide, ultra wide, selfie. Yep. They have a weird stalker looking dude watching a video in the bathtub. Yeah. A14 Bionic, the fastest smartphone chip ever. MagSafe. Everything just magnetized, clicks on. That's so cool. I don't know. That leather brown magnet wallet case does not go with the deep blue color. Well, I guess you could if you think about it like an outfit wise, right? Wearing like denim, dark denim jeans with a light tan dress shoes. iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12 Pro. So we haven't even talked about the Pro and the Pro Max. $699 for mini, $799 for 12. But they didn't say what the base storage is. Confirm 64 gig start or 128 gig start. Can finance $12 a month for the mini on Verizon, $15 a month for the iPhone 12 on Verizon. All right, the Pro and Pro Max. They left the storage capacity out. So right, the other half's a 12 is a Pro and Pro Max, Timothy Gump. There you go. The theatrical entrance. The godlike opening. The hologram view of the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. It screams you have to spend over $1,000. It screams it. iPhone 12 Pro. Tell us, Timothy Gump. Ooh? I may have heard that wrong. You say hand it over to Jaws? Okay, Greg, Jaws. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Pacific blue, new color. Yep, they have the ceramic shield. IP68. I'm gonna say this about the iPhone 12 though. The iPhone 12 should be IP certified, right? Yeah, you want to put a clear case on that iPhone. It looks good. 6.1-inch display. Uh-huh. 6.7-inch for the Pro Max. 2778 by 1284 pixels. 458 pixels per inch. 1200 nits. Pro performance. Here we go. So he's just reiterating what they've talked about already, like with the ceramic shield, with the A14 Bionic, and not trying to over slam us with the same talk that they talked in the iPhone 12. Similar architectural movements of photography, same as done as on Pixels. Big thumbs up. Deep fusion on all 4K. Okay. So are they going to talk about the selfie cam now? Ultra wide, 12 megapixel, wide camera. Okay. Telephoto. 52 millimeter focal length and 4 times optical zoom range. 6-element lens and a f 2.0 aperture rating. All right, let's talk about those cameras. I'm not a pro photographer, but I dig when they talk about photography. CB Tech, what's up, man? Looks like I'll be spending some money. LOL. Yeah, good. Let's talk about these cameras. Telephoto. Why are they showing it to the top one when it was on the bottom one? Confuse people, man. Confuse people. But of course, since Apple's talking about telephoto, totally everyone's going to go bananas on it. But when Google was talking about telephoto, everyone got pissed off. I'm sorry. I had to throw that out. You guys know where I'm at. Yes. All right. 87% improvement in low light. That's good. Oh, sensor shift. Okay. Ah, that's good. That's cool. Give him a second. She wants to use my Sony headphones. That's good. All right. Apple Pro Raw. So this is just specifically for the Pro and Pro Max. This ain't coming to the 12. Obviously, they have to have some sort of like differences between the Pro models and the base models. Otherwise, why would they call it Pro? Cool. Cool. You can actually edit photos within the Apple Photo app. If you're wondering why I'm focusing on those things, is because I know people will make the jump from Android to iOS, and I want them when they go there to have some of the same things they were able to utilize on Android, like with editing directly in the Google Photos app. Those things, at least to me, that I feel like some of the people that watch my channel, it matters to them. So it'd be great. Not really. You can. Pro Video. Our homes has become our studios. HDR video recording. 10-bit high dynamic range recording. Dolby Vision HDR. That is cool. 4K, 60 frames per second. That is really cool. All right, they're giving us a little demo of how they're recording video. But then again, for people out there, I've been reading this ebook, the best way to get photos and videos on a smartphone, how to hold your phone, specific ways to hold it. And yes, it does absolutely make differences. So you want to achieve good cinematography and good photography, I would suggest reading these books. And if you're like, you buy the iPhone 12 Pro and you're like, what they're demoing is not what you get, maybe it's how you hold your phone and what you use. Don't always rely on a gimbal all the time. That is. Of course, you need 5G for that because if you're rendering, 4K 60 frame per second video that comes out to be about like 3 gigs, you're gonna need 5G to share that at a reasonable time to share instead of sitting for like 20 minutes trying to wait for just yeah lidar. Yep. Yeah. So you can definitely play around with AR in this one. Uh huh. I will sip to that. Autofocus in low light 6 times faster. Yep. Joss. Yeah. I like how they're emphasizing 5G in the iPhone, but they're not putting it in your face. You know what I mean? They will talk about it here and there where it validates the reasons, the steps towards 5G. Just give me a few seconds. All right. Sorry for the brief moment of silence. So you get all these things: the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max. iPhone 12 Pro. Good. So like survive. You have a four times chance of the glass surviving impact. I like how they did that at that moment. They're like 5G will change it, and it just blew the girl's hair like so fast. These are great and wonderful features. There's just one problem to it. Hmm. Pacific Blue. Well, that was the magnet charging that everyone was thinking of. MagSafe. Yep. 9.99. Ah, see, so they didn't even say that with the iPhone 12, the storage capacity. With the iPhone 12 Pro, they already just said it. They're doubling the capacity start. So that confirms 64 gig iPhone 12, 64 gig 12 mini. They'll be available next week, October 23rd. Pro Max and mini pre-order November 6th, shipping November 13th. So different. Mini and 12 is not available exactly right up front. It's actually the 12 and the 12 Pro being available first for pre-order, and then the Mini and the Pro Max available in November. I wonder why the Mini is moved to a November launch. I guess it. I guess no, actually it'll make more sense that way, right? You guys feel that Tim Cook's a bit bow-legged? Just imagine if Steve Jobs was alive and he did this keynote. Because there's something for everybody. He's doing a lot of this. AirPod Studios. That's it. That is it. Phone of the year, iPhone. Really? Phone of the year, iPhone? It's over? I like that. Production, health, safety. Boom. Really? Oh man. I don't have to watch the out credits. If there was like a one more thing at the end of that, I'll cover that later. Boom. Really? I mean, so I'll put it in this context, right? Here comes the Pixel fanboy. I'll put it in this context. It was amazing. A lot of the things that they talked about with the iPhone 12 and then the iPhone 12 Pro series, all that stuff's good. I really don't have anything to look at it and fault it on the things that they say. There's only three given factors that I've noticed about iPhones over time, and every time there's a keynote and what they talk about. I miss most of it. What's new? um, Pixel is no comparison, but that's the thing that I pointed out to a lot of people. That I guess whatever. I mean, people have their perspectives and they can go on their perspectives. The Google Pixel 5, the 4A5G is never intended to compete on that level anymore because they're never going to get a pass. I've said this, was it yesterday? It's just they're never going to get a pass, right? People are going to make this big thing about, let's take, for example, the telephoto that they focused on, right? But when Google focused on telephoto, everyone was pissed off because they didn't get ultra wide. Yes, the iPhone brings you both ultra wide, wide, and telephoto on the Pro, and that's great. On the regular model, you don't get telephoto. So, but here's the thing about it, right? Throw Pixel out of the equation because, like I've been telling people, it's never intended for it to compete in that market, right? So the real battle is between Samsung and Apple. That's really where it's at. You may get the Mini, Apple Pro Raw. Yeah, Apple Pro Raw, that was a nice touch to it, being able to capture basically, because some people like to really dive into the raw photography. So here's where the competition's at today when it comes to smartphones. Really, it's photos and video, cinematography and photography. No 120 hertz display, and that's okay. That is okay. Technoid will say differently. Technoid will, and I understand his perspective on it. They should be able to. I mean, Apple went all out. You can say that. I can say that they did. They went all out. There was a lot of good things that they talked about, from everything that they expressed within the new A14 Bionic chip to, the cameras, what they can do at this point. You have, the wide angle, the ultra wide angle on the 12 series, and then you have the Edition telephoto on the Pro series. 120 hertz display is more of a want than a need. But I think the reason why Technoid looked at it in that sense is because, I mean, look at everything that they've done. They went all out with the iPhone 12 this year, right? When you compare it, like, not of all time, just this year, they were able to, to go the distance, right? A lot of other companies had basically said that because of this year, 2020, the issues that we faced has been a setback to them and has stacked limitations against them, right? Even Google is guilty of this. And Apple was still able to provide all these things, the amenities that Apple fans love about the iPhone, they were still able to provide and upgrade from. It may not be drastic, huge upgrades It may be incremental, but it's still upgrades as it is. And I'm not giving a pass to Apple on anything. I'm just saying it from a consumer point of view. That's how I judge this. If people were expecting me to just get nitty gritty and go after Apple because I'm a Pixel fanboy, no. I appreciate technology in its essence of what it is and what companies do. Sure, I can name, any reason that would give negative, projection towards Apple and the new iPhones. Of course you can. And, I mean, Apple Watch said that it's phone of the year, right? Boom, it's phone of the year. But it's phone of the year, and it's a lockdown operating system. You don't have a lot really you can do with it. You have to do it their way or no way at all. I can say that, but who really cares? Again, I firmly believe that people like what they like. As far as like the statement, Pixel is no comparison, you're right. It's no comparison, and it was never intended to. I think that was the thing that pissed off a lot of people, a lot of the tech guys when it came to the Google Pixel, because they were like, when are you going to build something that Apple builds? Stop looking at it like that. That's not the point of it. The Google went in a whole different direction, and their market that they're going after is in a different area. You look at the iPhone, you look at them, the 12 mini and the 12 is targeted for the average consumer. The Pro series is targeted for those that want to do more with the iPhone, like photographers and cinematographers, amateur movie makers can utilize the Pro. I mean, you've seen some of the stuff that they demoed with it, right? Using a drone that had a bracket to hold the iPhone 12 Pro and using that to capture images and clips in 4K, 60 frames per second, right? Strapping it to the bottom of a truck at a certain angle to get that shot of horses running out through the desert field. Like, the Pro is obviously in the name itself, Pro. This is like for somebody that is a photographer. They even said it. They made that bold statement. The iPhone is for the photographers, for the professional photographers. They made that. Apple competes with Samsung. That's where it's at. The Google Pixels, and I will say this, I don't care what anyone else has to say about it. They don't need to be competing against Apple and Samsung right now at this point. It's not. They've got to get recognized within the world, within consumers. They've got to. That's the first step for the Google Pixels. They've got to. Because right now, anything that the Pixel does, it don't matter what they do, but everyone's going to burn them just about. Just about. That's that. So enough for the Pixels. Take that, throw it away. Now, if you were to ask me which phone I'm going to get, you already know. Pixel 5. I'm going to go with that. My experience and what my connections are with my ecosystem allows me, with what I've been used to, with software optimization from Google, that's where it's at. Now, if Android completely was gone, like if just some miraculous reason, like the Thanos snap happened and Pixels and all Androids was gone, then which one of the four would I get? As silly as it sounds, the Mini. I would get the iPhone 12 Mini. Why? Smaller form factor with a decent size display. Sure, it doesn't have a lot of the extended features in the Pro when it comes to photography and cinematography. I'm okay with that. But you're still getting, when it comes down to photography, which is something that I've kind of pivoted myself towards, right? This is the reason why that I'm reading a lot on how to get and gear up the best shots that I can get. This is the reason why I made, actual videos on my channel again, kind of focusing on astrophotography and photos and stuff like that, to show what the Pixels can do with photography. But if, like I said, if Thanos snapped and Android was gone, it's going to be the iPhone 12 mini. But I kind of see it. And you know what? Like, I don't understand why they hid the fact slightly that the 12 mini and the 12 mini, $699, starting storage, 64 gigabytes, and $799 for the iPhone 12, starting storage, 64 gigabytes. I mean, they didn't completely hide it, because when they talked about the Pro, They said that the iPhone 12 Pro is starting at $999, and they've upped the base storage start at 128 gigs. So they confirmed that the 12 and 12 mini is going to start at 64 gigs. Now, of course, I don't intend to have people debate this because we know Apple gets the pass. It don't matter if the Pixel 5 starts at 128. They only have one storage option, and that's going to be the rebuttal debate back. They only have one storage option. I can get me a 128 iPhone 12 mini, spend $799 for it. And they're willing to spend the extra $100 more because it's Apple. There is no point in arguing that point when it's like Android versus iOS, because they're both pretty much the same. So the transition, like if somebody was like, I've been on Android for the last 3 years and I used to own an iPhone back in the day, the transition from going from stock Android to iOS, easy peasy. I hate the fact that people use this thing of like, oh, it's a learning curve. It's not a learning curve. It's, you use the apps the same way. You click the apps, it opens. There may be subtle differences, like, you know, how do you go back from a specific page? How do you move this way on this? That's that, but that's within the UI of the app itself. But the entire operating itself, the user interface of iOS and the user interface of Android 11, it's almost the same. Just but move the app drawer on Android 11 from the bottom to the side, to the right side. If you swipe all the way over, you'll get an app drawer on iOS. You can move applications on iOS that you normally don't want on your screen. Like if you're like, I could use a compass when I go hiking with my friends, but I don't need the compass app, you can store it in the app drawer and not have it on your home display. Like iOS 14 has brought a little bit more customizations. I mean, just yesterday I was talking to my oldest sister. Like she had called me on Facebook Messenger. I thought something was wrong because she said she had a very important question to ask me. And when I called her back, it was like, the Moto Razr 5G folds. Like she's never heard or seen of foldable technology. So I told her like, hey, you know, you used to dig and like Samsung devices. You had the S10e. Did you not know the Galaxy Fold? You know, but I mean, this is what comes into it. Like her transition over from Samsung over to iOS was just smooth. It was smooth as hell. There's not a lot of things that she has to really, you know, have to gravitate to learn towards. But, you know, when she was talking about her iPhone, she was like, I have widgets now. And she was like so excited for it. And she tried to, you know, I don't think she really tried to start a debate between Android and iOS on the whole widgets thing. And really, it's about perspectives. That's something that me and my sister talked about. And she's not a techie. She doesn't give a crap about the tech specs. She doesn't give a crap about 1200 nits in the light capture. She doesn't care about none of that stuff. She's just a person that wants to pick up their phone and use it. And her thing was that, you know, she sees no reason now to even want to go back to Android because the things that she liked about Android, she now has on iOS with iOS 14. And that's great. And at the end of the day, people can say I'm biased. I am biased about the phones that I want to use. I like Pixels. I'm going to use Pixels. If someone came to me and was like, but I like iOS and the iPhone 12 looks just about right and 64 gigs is right up my alley. I don't need a whole lot of storage. I think I want to get it. Then my answer to them is to get it. You're not losing anything else. As a matter of fact, some of the things that people worry about today is photography. And I can see why that they are focused on it, why the Google Pixels is in the limelight of getting shot by 1,000 bullets. It's because they're both competing in the space of photography. They're both competing in that space. Okay? They're both competing in that space. And one thing that I'm absolutely happy about for the iPhone 12 is the fact that when it comes to taking photos and you want those night modes, right? Because that was a major shift when it came to photography. Was night mode. It unlocked so much things you could do. Like you see my camera right now, right? I have the room light off. I have my blinds closed from natural light from the sun, right? I have one little lamp right here, kind of just hitting the wall to create this light effect. But do you guys see the noise in all of this, right? People like night sight because it clears all this crap up and makes it smooth. And All iPhones will have that. That's, to me, that's exciting and great. That's great. They're going to have it. Because if you don't really feel the need to buy the Pro models, you will still have a good experience taking photos for Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social platform that you're on. That's a hell of a good thing. That's one. When it comes down to colors, Pacific Blue is cool, but I'm like, they got more for everybody, right? If Pacific Blue is not up your alley, then you have, and I'm sorry, I'm giving them a naming scheme. I'm not expecting them to catch on, but if the blue apple doesn't work out for you, get a red apple, get a green apple. I think that's cool that they kind of went there. You get a red and green apple, then there's the blue one. Don't you just love online classes? The other Chromebook is dying, so my daughter needs to charge it. I see a red iPhone 12 mini in my future. LOL. Why not? Why not? At the end of the day, I'll say three things. One, there is no phone of the year. Okay, I'm gonna bust that bubble for people. There is no phone of the year for everyone. Oh my gosh. I like the blue one, says coffee. Let me go to some of these comments here. All right. So Rob Smith, wait till iPhone gets 120 hertz. All the Apple fanboys will talk about how innovative it is. I mean, Rob, I'm not these days when it comes to the iOS and the Android wars, there's really nothing to really, go. I mean, hell, you know what? I can go on that statement and just talk about how basically Tim Cook and them was talking about 5G and was giving this feeling as if they invented 5G. you know uh, they just Apple has that where they think that they take anything. Like if you invented a nail cutter and they came out with their own Apple foot nail color, they'll talk about how they invented it first because they did it better. Who knows? It's all perspectives here. But again, going back to it, there is no phone of the year. There is no phone of the year. And here's why, before people start to get all weirded out and be like, well, the fan edition is phone of the year, or the iPhone 12 is phone of the year. If anyone says Pixel 5 is phone of the year, me in my little corner by myself. There isn't, and here's why. Okay, those that love Apple, loves the ecosystem. Everything Apple does is going to be product of the year. Those that like Pixels is going to be phone of the year. Those that love Samsung is going to be phone of the year. It's phone of the year in people's eyes as perspectives, and everyone can have their perspectives. I respect that from other people. 12 starts at 64 gigabytes. Of course, yeah. I see red, yeah. Hi, I'm late. No, you're not. No, you're not. I think majority during the event, obviously the view was low. I had I think 4 to 6 people steady in here because I couldn't show it. That's what sucks. If I was able to show it and not get in trouble, we could have had what's called a watch party and just all hung out and chatted and watched all at the same time. Let's see. I like the blue iPhone mini, but you can't pre-order until November 6th. Darn, I wish. That was a nice touch, though, because a lot of people speculated that the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 was going to be pre-ordered, available in October, released October 23rd, and that the Pro series would be released in November, but that's not the case. You get one of the iPhone 12 bases, and you get one of the Pros in October, and then you get the other base and the other Pro in November. So that, to me, that's fine. Now, we're in October already. It ain't that long before November hits. I know that's how Apple is low key doing something no one else does. They still make small phones. I like that. Yeah. It's very popular. I mean, to those out there, why do you think that the iPhone SE exists? I mean, people look at it and they're like, it's a special edition iPhone because it uses yesteryear's body design. But there's also something to it. Apple has always gravitated towards their belief that smaller phones is better, right? That was for a long time. While Android was getting bigger and bigger, the iPhone from from the first generation to the fifth generation had maintained this thing of keeping a 3.99-inch display, thumb here to here. That's the perfect smartphone. They went on that, but they couldn't beat the fact that people were mesmerized and dazzled by bigger displays. And so then they upped the ante and they started doing a 4.7-inch and then a 5.5-inch. They went on that all the way to the 10, where the 10 started actually bracking off into bigger display sizes and more variations of it, right? You look at the growth of the iPhone and that's what you see. But they've always stuck to their guns that smaller form factor, smaller phones was better for the consumer. And so it didn't surprise me when rumors circulated an iPhone 12 mini was going to come. And they said it was going to be in the same near size of the iPhone SE or the iPhone 5. No, hi, how's it going? I'm gonna get the iPhone 12 Pro, and the 12 Pro is coming out in November. 12 Pro Max is coming out in November. The 12 Pro is going to launch the 23rd. So the 12 and 12 Pro launches on the is available on the 23rd, and then the Mini and the Pro Max will be available for pre-order November 6th. I think launches on the 16th. If our CF, what's up? But while you have all this stuff, things that I feel like that Apple has caught up to Android in certain extents, and so the fanboys now from iOS can start bashing on me. But it is what it is. But everything they talked about with the HomePod Mini, and then the Apple Home app, things that you know my Google Home was able to do for the longest time, including individual voice recognition. So like if I ask Google Home something about my calendar, it knows it. When my kids ask something, it knows it because we're on a linked family already. I govern my kids' Google account, what apps they download, what videos they're allowed to look at. I do all that stuff, right? So it individually recognizes already. Um, so am I bashing Apple for that? No, they have it. They talked about it in the HomePod Mini. They talked about the speaker driver design for 360 sound that you get out of it. Easily integrated with other HomePod minis. So if I had two on my desk, they know that they're next to each other at corners of my desk, so they will synchronize a dual stereo sound environment. That's cool. I like that. Which is what like the Nest Audio. You pretty much have control of that. Having Nest Audios in various points of the house, you can actually have specific ones linked together to create a fuller sound. If you want the entire house to have this sound equally dispersed, have them all, right? So tech is going to keep growing, and that's the good thing about it, is the growth of it. I like the fact that there's competition. I like the fact that it's going to push boundaries on things. Are there any innovative things happening right now that makes a big turn? No, there hasn't been for a long time. All right. Every tech company, including Google, is basically underwater with a sheet of ice above it, and they're all pressing their faces against the sheet of ice, and they're all kind of moving around in the notion of trying to get to where they can break through. Yes.
I was trying to plug in the computer where mom's charger cord was, and then it died.
So turn it back on.
And I trying to find the place where the charger goes.
There's Give me 1 second, everybody. All right. Let's see. I had an iPhone SE. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. The original SE or the 2020 SE? Let's see here. See, I think that's just an American thing. I don't know if anyone else is using those things. I don't even know how it's called. I keep forgetting. Which thing? Are you talking about the smart assistant speakers or the? Because that's what they are. So now I really don't know if I want the Pixel 5 or the iPhone 12 mini. Really, what I would say is to this, when it comes down to that, okay. So if we're gonna compare the iPhone 12 mini to the Pixel 5, let's go ahead and do that. You have to look at how you want to use your phone. Okay. You also got to look at the differences in the software, not the user interface, but in the software itself, right? And what you want to do more out of it. Okay. The biggest factor for me, if I was given the iPhone 12 mini and the Pixel 5, throw away out that I'm a Pixel fanboy. But the reason why I would still go with the Pixel 5 is just the storage option. I have double the amount than what the iPhone 12 is. And I have iPhones here. So anyone that's going to be like, well, you've never used iPhone, kiss me where the door splits me. I have iPhones here. One of the things that I get really aggravated with before is with the iPhone 7 that B-Tech Reviews handed out. Basically, it was a 32 gig option. I filled that up pretty quickly. And then the storage cloud capacity that you got to buy more of. I'm just like, okay, that's like, because you get 5 gigs of cloud storage free, right? And then after that, it goes up. There's like 50 or something like that, 50 gigs for like 99 cents or whatever. But it's like you're already having to pay 128. I don't got to worry about it. And most of the stuff that fills up my phones is photos. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what it is. Most of that stuff is what fills up my phones is photos and stuff like that. So you really just gotta look. What is going to work out best for you? The iPhone 12 side, the mini, one of the biggest things it's got going for it is longevity. Okay, so we know that it's 5G capable, such as the Pixel 5, but its 5G is, according to them, is not limited as it's been explained about the Pixel 5's 5G being limited, right? So you have that. You have 5 years of OS support as far as going to the next iteration of iOS. So you got longevity in that. So you got to look at it on how you're doing. If you're upgrading every year, all those things plays a major factor in how you buy a phone. That's the questions that you got to be asking yourself when you're going to decide on a phone. Whatever phone you choose, and this goes out to CF, whatever phone you choose, just remember, it's the phone that you're going to use. Doesn't matter what I think or what anyone in this chat thinks, because we're not the ones that's using the phone when you buy it and you start using it. You are going to be the one using it. So just go with what you feel is the best option, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's got to use the phone. So if the experience is great, if you're happy with your purchase, then you made the right decision. Let's see. I'm waiting for the pre-orders for the iPhone 12 mini. Cool. You had the original. I have the. You have you have the 2020 SE. For some reason, I was freaking out there. I was thinking the FE. I was like, you had the fan edition Samsung, but oh man, yeah, those speakers at the start, they showed. Yeah, it's just people like to listen to music. I like to listen to podcasts. Right now I have relaxing music to try to keep my ADHD calm. So it's not really music, it's just sounds. It's the sounds of the ocean waves crashing against the beach. Right? I can close my eyes and relax and just think of the beach and just fall asleep just from those sounds. To me, those are spying devices. Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, they wanted to emphasize to people, and this was kind of like a punch at Google. They were like, you can control what audio it records and what it listens to. That's hollowed words. Because I can tell someone right now on this podcast that Google Home speaker right there, you can control the privacy on it, on what audio it records, yet it can still record without you guys even knowing, right? Coffee says that they're spy devices. Computers are spy devices as well. Your laptops, your tablets, your phones are spy devices. Anyone can get into those things and trigger certain commands to have it execute something that you don't even know is happening. That is a territory of technology. The more advanced it goes, it does have its pluses and minuses. And the pluses and minuses is not the features that it has or any of that stuff. The pluses and minuses is the good that it can bring to all of us humans, and then the maliciousness that humans can use it for malicious intent. Hopefully, stepping up to the 128 iPhone 12 mini will only be $50. It's $100 more. So if you get the 64 gig mini, $699. If you go the 128, it's $799. Yeah, but that's different. No. It's not different. It's not different. All technology can be used in the same malicious way. Anyone can listen to me right now talking from that speaker. Somebody could have already accessed my Pixel 4 and has activated the microphone to listen to me in the same manner. Because it utilizes the same thing to transmit the data, which is internet. It don't matter if it's from a smart speaker, from a smartphone, to a smart laptop, to a smart tablet. It doesn't matter what the device is. The device, the shell casing itself, is just hardware that houses it. Because if you want to go and say, well, Google's listening on that, but they're also listening on this phone. They're also listening on my Chromebook. And guess what? So it is on Apple. Everyone can go and stand up for Apple and be like, well, they're not going to do this because of that whole incident that happened, and what they wouldn't let the government in. They would refuse to build a backdoor to iOS to allow them to get in when certain situations happens, like, an attack or whatever. And that was good publicity for Apple to stand their ground and say that. And a lot of people supported them. I supported them for that. But does that absolutely mean that they're not listening? No. I mean, I've said this at the end of the day. When people talk about the security thing, they're like, iOS is more secure. No, iOS is more lockdown. You have the lockdown, the restrictions of iOS itself on how it does not have, it's not open sourced, creates this envisionment of privacy and security coupled with the actual privacy and security of iOS. On the Android side, it looks like Swiss cheese because it's open sourced. You can do more with your Android operating system, and that was the intentions of it. Apple's like, this is iOS, this is how we want it, use it how we want to do it, and if you can't figure it out, we'll tell you what you're doing wrong. On the Android side, it's, this is Android. Do as you want with it. Samsung, LG, and all of them have made their own iterations of it, but here's the source codes if you want to build your own custom ROM. Have at it. So the security doesn't look secure there because you can mold and change and do much with Android. But the real reason that you hear a lot more stuff happening with Android is because of side loading. Side loading, getting apps to cheat in games. Cracked modded apps has malware attached to it, and they download and install it on their Android phone. Right? In order to achieve that level of installation of applications, you'd have to jailbreak your iPhone. And that's the key word why it's called jailbreak and not root. Root is just granting you super user permissions, allowing you to govern the entire operating system and all its source files. That's root. Jailbreaking is completely cracking iOS and then manipulating it in a way that it was never intended to be. That is the difference. Tech Extremist spotted AT&T N2 in your area. I'm sure they're doing a lot of upgrading here in Phoenix, but the density in this city is just bad. You have these speakers planted in the entire house. UI mean like they showed. Well, you don't have them planted in your entire house. You put them where you want. So you buy one and you put it in your living room. It's in your living room. It's not going to go anywhere else. You put these things here. But again, these speakers is like, I leave my phone in my room and go to the other room. Google can suck my ice cream. But it honestly, it really doesn't matter, because when you search things on Google, they see it. You know, if you watch a video on YouTube, they see what you're watching and they're like, oh, he's been watching a lot of kitten videos. So we're going to put kitten ads in his Google search. See, maybe if he wants to go buy a cat. It's there. Apple, Google, they all freaking listen. Facebook listens. Right? I mean, when Facebook launched that, what's it called? Their competitor to the, I forgot what it's called, what they call it, but basically you can Facebook video chat from your home TV, you know, with the camera on top and everything. And just, yeah, they're watching. You are the product. You are worth the money. Your information garners these companies big dollars. Hi, babe. I love you. I hope you're having a great day at work and you're feeling good. But, you know, you're the product. Who the hell's not going to listen and record all the stuff that you say? You're on YouTube right now chatting with me. Google has an idea that you just told them to suck your ice cream. So they're going to probably pitch you ice cream ads later. You might get Haagen-Dazs or freaking, I don't know what ice cream brands you have out there where you are, but you know, that's going to come to you. You know, they're all listening. We have given these tech companies the key to the biggest selling product in this world, humans. I am glad you're feeling much better, babe. Yeah, but kind of stepping back, all the way back to the iPhone 12, because we're kind of going way, way, way out there, right? Let's see. Google OS is good, but the phone's hardware sucks. And see, that's the biggest drawback to Android, is that you have Samsung, LG, Motorola, ZTE, Xiaomi, Huawei, Honor, Hot Pepper, Ghost. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Go to visible.com and you'll see a phone that's manufactured called Hot Pepper Ghost. You got CoolPad. You got all these different companies, and they license Android to use, and they put their own skin on top of it and do as they please with it to a degree. And that just ruins it, right? See, like iPhone, there is no other phone that runs iOS on it. Okay. There is no other hardware that runs iOS on it than the iPhone, right? Simply locked down to Apple products. Apple has the hardware and software all together, and it's all theirs. You know what I mean? Apple for the win. Wrong, Apple Watts. Apple for the win. Phone of the year for you. Yes, correct. For you, your perspective. Other people's perspective is different, right? But I'm happy if you're super excited. Like if you are genuinely super excited for the iPhone 12 Apple Watch, I am happy that you are, because that was a great presentation. I liked it. They would bankrupt if they're relying on me. But see, that's the thing. There are billions of humans on this planet. Just think about it. If one company even earned $2 per human, there's billions of humans on this planet, right? Wealth is grown right there. Give me a Samsung phone with Google OS. Why? I'm just kidding. I gotta ask that question. I say why, like, Samsung, man. Yeah. I mean, now, are you saying give you a Samsung with Google OS as in like stock Google? It's possible. Max Lee probably already rooted the Samsung Galaxy Fan Edition, knowing that guy. And if he did, he's probably like already figuring out ways to flash GSIs on the Fan Edition. So you could probably bring the Samsung Galaxy Fan Edition all the way down to stock Android. Because now most developers are building custom ROMs on XDA, but they're also building GSIs. I shouldn't have to root. I agree with you. But you know what? That's the OEM. Samsung locks bootloaders. Now, with my Pixels, they ain't locked. I mean, the bootloaders are locked to protect the phone. But if you want to change the software on this, you can unlock the bootloader. You won't be denied access like Samsung does. So if I wanted to flash the Pixel Experience GSI on my Pixel 4, I could do that. I don't see a reason to because I like stock Android. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the same thing implies on the iOS side. There are certain things that you may want to do with your iPhone that Apple says, no, that's not what we intended it for. You can't do. See? You can always play devil's advocate with those statements. You can keep every Samsung. Just give me a Pixel in one hand and an iPhone in the other hand. Yeah, double draw shooter, bang bang, right? And you know what? That's what a lot of people are gonna do. It's gonna go that way. But you know, for me, I want the Pixels to stay where they're at. That's a crazy statement for me to say, right? A lot of people want to see, and you know, and I understand the level of frustrations when it comes to the Google Pixel 5. People want to see them compete and do good. People are in this belief that if the Pixels start to do really good in that field of flagship territory, they feel like that the innovation wars will be reinvigorated and turned back on. I like where Google Pixel is going right now because I think people need to know more what a Pixel is instead of having to go to YouTube and search up Google Pixel and find out that they've been making these phones for generations now and they're just starting to break in. Now that's the thing. It's got to get in more hands. So if it sits in the mid-range area, it's got to get in more hands. People got to understand that this is a brand, just like the Galaxy is a brand, just like the iPhones is a brand. They got to understand that once it's in more hands, they can kind of step it up. It's kind of weird because I would have felt like Google would have probably been in a better state if they kind of did the same approach as OnePlus and kind of kept it at a low marginal price and then worked itself up. Pixel needs better design. What do you mean it needs a better design? Dude, I can skin this thing and call this an iPhone 12 Pro and people really wouldn't know. Has the same design. What are you talking about? The camera module, same. Squares. They both went squares in the same year. Well, no, they didn't. No, yeah, they did. Yeah. Like, what do you mean design? Candy bar style? All smartphones are candy bar style. There are some that went flip, but they're mostly candy bar style. Like, design? Nothing's the same. What do you mean, like the build material? Like the steel rail on the side and all that? Has any better route for the Nexus 5X? What do you mean? Has there been root for the Nexus 5X? Yeah, my Nexus 5X is rooted. I flashed various different custom ROMs on it, and I've even brought it up to Android 10 before Android 11 came out. And I'm pretty sure right now there's a Pixel experience based on Android 11 for the Nexus 5X. Just go to xda.com and just search up Nexus 5X. You'll get everything that has to do with the development, the stock Android development, and just all these different things. You'll find all the custom ROMs you need. You'll find various different kernels that you could use. You can even find kernels that pretty much shuts out the higher core CPU. That way you don't get hit with the dreaded boot loop of death. Nothing's the same, everything. When you say design, okay, I'm looking at this phone. And I'm looking at the iPhone 12 in the same site. Now you're talking about build material and all these things. That's not design. That's just hardware choice to manufacture. Design is the camera module, the shape of the phone. Those types of things, to me, that's design. If you're gonna say that the Pixel has a bad design, but the iPhone has a good design, and they have square module, body style, nearly identical. I could pass this for an iPhone 12 to someone out there who's not really knowing. Yeah. Material-wise, the iPhone 12 Pro is impressive. Material-wise, I'll give it that. The Pixel 5, it's impressive to me. It goes away from the thing that, for me, and again, it comes down to perspective and preferences. The double P's, perspective and preferences. Okay, for me, Pixel 5 and the design, I like the design. The build quality of it, I like that method. Get away from glass. Needs to get away from glass because I'm tired of like paranoia. Okay, this Pixel 4, I like the Pixel 4. The back is glass, right? I'm afraid. I like to rock my phones butt naked. I really do. But my fear, and the same fear I have with the Pixel 3, it's glass. The phones that I will rock without a case majority of the time is like my Pixel 2 and my Pixel 2 XL because it's mostly metal. I'm not worried about dropping it. If I drop, then the top cracks. Okay, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be an eyesore, you know? But a whole entire back being glass, that's worse. I just realized my Nexus 6P is the international version. Won't work with Verizon. Uh-oh. Well, at least, you know, and you know what? I mean, you have the Nexus 6P. You can play around with it. If you have a carrier that supports it, you can play around with it just for a nostalgic thing. Nexus 6P, I really wouldn't say that it's something that I would say you would run as a daily driver as opposed to being like a daily driver for hardcore stuff that you do. I mean, I don't even run my Nexus 5X as a daily driver. Yep, skin it and put an Apple logo on the back and you wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't know. So design is the way that the phone looks. But the elements used to build the phone, that's hardware. And yeah, it's impressive on the hardware for the 12 Pro and Pro Max. Yep, skin it Pixel 4 and 4 XL and slap an Apple logo on the back and you would. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know what? Today, because of, you know, you guys may notice that I'm being a little bit passive on it, right? Today, those that are Apple fans are rejoicing and they're excited. They're happy. They like what they saw today. I'm impressed by some of the things that they talked about with the iPhones. You know what I mean? I'm not going to crap on it. I'm not going to crap on it and say it's not worth getting. It's worth getting. It's worth getting, definitely. And the Pro is going to be great for those people that are like YouTubers and content creators are definitely going to benefit from the Pro. Definitely. You know, Apple just maintained that marginal gap between the Google Pixel when it comes to cinematography. Like I was excited when they talked about the pixels and certain things that they did to beef up the video when you record video in it, right? And so they kind of moved up a little bit on the scale, but then Apple dropped all this stuff with the Dolby Vision and just maintain that gap. They'll always have that gap between the Google Pixels and the iPhone when it comes to cinematography. The cameras, I'm very interested in competition. Very, very interested. And if they're close, if it's a close and it's more about preference, about color saturations and all those things is what makes the difference, then by golly, I'm going to be so totally happy. I would love to have that near similarity between them. I mean, the stuff they talked about with image processing using the A14 Bionic chip is exactly the same type of path that the Google Pixels do. The Google Pixels have their own dedicated image processing chip built inside Pixel phones. It's separated from the actual processing chip itself. That chip's only job is to actually run images through it and correct the imperfections and bring out certain things using AI to determine the same thing that they talked about with the LiDAR sensor of being able to kind of map the area to create. Now, Pixels don't have a LiDAR sensor to create augmented reality within my room using me and all this other stuff to create that type of imagery. But what I was talking about, where it could recognize the foreground, the background, the objects, and the distance between them and the wall behind them or whatever, that stuff's already done in the Google Pixels. So it's great to see that the iPhone 12s have them. It really is. Excuse me 1 second. All right, we had to use the restroom. But anyways, that to me is like that to me is a great thing about it. Bringing those two to be near similar will always be a perfect thing because there are those that just don't want to use Android and they want to use iOS. And for those people out there, I'm interested in you guys getting the similar things that we already have with the Google Pixel and Android. So your experience with iOS is there. Okay, like I was saying, I don't care about, well, myself. I don't care if people are like, iPhone's got it now, so Android ain't got anything to say on it. Like, I don't care about those types of war things. Like, those things are just like whatever. I want them to have similar things because I want people from both sides to enjoy similar experiences and be able to still have that slight competition. Like if a person had the iPhone 12 and shot something with night mode, and then I took my Google Pixel 4 and shot it with night sight, if the photos are comparable to an extent, but also have a little competition between them. How did the shadowing come out on the person on your Pixel photo versus my iPhone photo? Like those types of things I want to see. Definitely want to see those things. Okay. Yeah. Brief me 1 second. I think Pixel and iPhones are top choice right now. I don't really care about Samsung. Yeah, CF. That's a statement there. That's why I think a lot of people are saying like they would rather have a Pixel in one hand and an iPhone in the other hand. One can do what the other one can't, and they can always mitigate those frustrations by just carrying both. If you're willing to carry two phones on you, it seems like that carrying two phones on you is starting to become the norms today, and I don't like that. I think people should just have one. Excuse me 1 second. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm just like it's becoming norms. I mean, you see content creators carrying two phones, but that's for a totally different case. You know, if I wasn't a content creator, like if I completely ended my YouTube channel and just didn't do YouTube no more, honestly, this would be the only phone that I would carry, the only phone that had service on it, the only one. I carry multiple phones to have a different experience and to um, be able to provide more intel when I actually speak. Hypocrite, you have me carry two phones, lol. Because if one fails, you have the other one in case of an emergency. That's why I have you carry two phones, babe. That's why. All right. I don't care if I get stranded somewhere and I only have one phone and the battery's dead and I end up dying. That's fine. Life takes me, but I'll make sure you have a better survival chance than me. So I'm not a hypocrite. No better overall experience than the iPhone. And that would be for you. That would be Apple Watts' statement. There's no better experience for Apple Watts than the iPhone. Because I'll tell you right now, iOS does not give me a better experience than stock Android does. So, but if I was to sit here and make the statement and say that there's no better experience than the Pixel stock Android, that's something to say for me. CV Tech, yep, I'll take an iPhone 12 mini and the Pixel 5. Hey, why not? iPhones are better quality on hardware. You can tell a difference, but hardware doesn't make the user experience. You can go with me on this thing, and I'm going to go into the user experience, okay? Because, hang on 1 second. Sorry, they're getting out of hand. So when I hold this phone, you can build this Pixel with the best premium material that's offered in the world today. But if the operating system is crap, I'm going to hate the experience because while I'm interacting with the hardware, like pushing button and picking it up and bringing it to my face to unlock it, the real thing goes within the software. Now, you say both do. Not really. The hardware cannot make or break a phone. Okay? Because I can build a plastic, real cheap, recycled garbage bag made phone and make it look symmetrically beautiful. And it's plastic. But if I build the fastest operating system that's lickety split, brings everything to the screen as soon as a touch, not a micro millisecond later, seamlessly transitions, no hiccups, plays some of the most graphic intensive games like Butter, that's going to overshadow the fact that I built a phone, a symmetrically beautiful phone out of garbage bag plastic. The software is always 80 in the consumer's eyes. 80% of where the judgment comes from, and the 20% comes from the hardware. For the geek, it's 95%, 5% the hardware. Because the only thing that I want from a hardware is to make sure the button doesn't fall out and break, and that the charging port will charge. And that's all I give a crap about. But see, everybody's different. I'm not here debating Apple Watch and saying he's wrong. I'm not. Do you guys see where his focus is at when it comes to his experience with iOS and the iPhone? And this is where he judges a phone on. So if you were to slap a Samsung phone in his hand and say, this is going to replace your iPhone 12, is he going to be pissed? Probably, more than likely. He may find some things of Samsung and be like, oh, I didn't know they had this, and that's cool. But his overall general thought is going to be like, give me back my iPhone. Everybody has preferences. The iPhone 12 comes with 50-watt charging. 50 watts? 50 watts? I don't remember. I know that they said 15-watt fast charge, but I don't know. I'll have to look back into it. Are you still using Google Fi? No. No. And that's just because T-Mobile in Phoenix is not very well. Not very good. It's not dependable. I mean, people do a lot of speed tests and they show speed tests on YouTube. I've done them. And I'll tell you right now, when it comes to those things, I mean, those are just like, you can't base your experience based on that when you use it. Like I use a different speed testing app. I use an app called Meteor, because Meteor gauges, the downlink and the uplink, but it also compares it to what average people use for like, and you can pick your specific apps and it'll be at the bottom, but you can pick like YouTube, Chrome, and this and that, and it'll tell you what kind of experience you'll have based on the downlink and the uplink. I use that to kind of gauge it. Let's see. $379 trade-in for my iPhone 11. Not much. Yeah. But there's probably going to be deals. I mean, we're coming up to, towards the holidays. There's probably going to be like massive deals. So this is why I didn't get the Pixel 5 right now. I could take part of the money that I'm like trying to save up to move and just say like, I'll find something cheaper and buy the Pixel 5. But then I would buy it at like $700 and something because of taxes and fees and stuff like that. And then I would so have my heart sink if like it was discounted to like $500. Would totally suck. Let's see. If that Pixel had iOS, it would be crap. Of course. Apple builds the software and Apple builds the hardware, including the chip. So it's going to integrate and work seamlessly. And if it didn't, that would be very bad on Apple because they're building both ends of it, right? The Google Pixel right now, the Pixel 5 and previous before, I would say is 80% of what Google will do. The rest of it is third party, right? Qualcomm is not a Google company. Qualcomm builds the chips that the Pixels uses, just like what the chips that the American version Samsung Galaxy uses, right? Because internationally they use Exynos, which is Samsung's own chip. And you got MediaTek that goes like the budget, like the new mobile G. What's it called now? The G5 that just recently came out. Shout out to C Butler. He did a video on his channel talking about it. Next year it'll be a totally different thing. Google Pixel with their own processing chip. Let's see if they can do it right. I'm not saying they're definitely going to do it right. Apple has been doing it for years. Honestly, it wouldn't have bothered me. I don't know why people get like so heavy into tech that they make it into a war game. But like if they announced on the news, like, Google had, partnered with Apple to learn to design their own chip for their very first own processing chip being released in the Pixel 6. I know people would make such a big, disgusting hatred for that. I would totally be okay with that because Apple designs their own chips and they do well. So why not learn from a company that's been successful at it? Samsung, they say, Samsung fan nights and all them, Samsung nights, they'll say that Samsung's been doing it for a long time and they do it very well. But then why is the Exynos like a love-hate chip? There's not a love-hate relationship with like the A Bionic series chips, A13, A12, A14, A11, A9. There's not. So, hey Google, play The Sound of Rain. So, Um, is that all? 379 ain't much of a trade. Wait till there's deals. Hardware matters just as much as software. I disagree. Yep, I'm switching back. He's switching back to the iPhone. But even then, without the 120 hertz, right? It's not a big deal breaker. You know, the iPhone and everything that's giving to its people right now is it's good. And the best part, like I said in the beginning of this discussion after the keynote ended, was that no limitations was set based on the 2020 pandemic, right? No limitations was set. There probably was, but they didn't go out and say it like other companies have. And that's the best part. And you still got more out of it. So for those that like iPhone, love iPhones, big day for you guys. And I'm not going to crap on you guys. Even though Apple Watch says that both hardware and software matters, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree because at the end of the day, the software is what you mostly interact with. It's an 80-20 thing. Right. CV Samsung would give me over 500 with accessories and 6 months free of YouTube's. That. Yeah. You know, speaking of that, Andy Logan, that's something that did surprise me because Apple usually does that too. Like Apple would have probably gave you like, you know, what, like a year with Apple Arcade or something, you know? I'm surprised that nothing came with that or that they didn't mention it. We don't know if something's not coming with it. They didn't mention it. There was no say of it. So who knows? Yeah, bro. Definitely. And you got the new mobile G5, dude. I reached out to them to see if they were sending me a new mobile device this year, and I haven't got nothing back from them. I got the X6 last year. I got the G4 Plus the year before. But I noticed that the Twitter account's down, so I don't know. I'll probably try to reach them on Instagram and see what happens. If I can get a review unit, that's cool. Then I'll review it. Okay, have fun. I gotta do some stuff. I love you. I love you too, babe. Have a great day at work. My only complaint is that they aren't including a wall charger in the box for the Pro models. I can understand them not including it in the standard one, but Pros, come on. Yeah, but I mean, so here's my take on that, right? Because when they officially announced it to the world that they weren't going to include the charger in the box, right? They really went hard on talking about, you know, industrial waste, you know, electronic waste, and this was their pivotal movement to reducing that, right? I can't hate them for saying that. I can't say a bad thing about that because yeah, today there are lots of chargers sitting in the landfill. There are a lot of broken micro USB cable, Type C cables, maybe like shorted out charger boxes just sitting in our landfills, you know. So the fact is that they use this as a reason to say that, you know, that they're reducing it. I understand why they went with that approach and they put that lady on the roof to talk about it, you know, because you get the whole environment view behind her instead of being inside on a set made to mirror and look like an apartment or a house. And you know what? If I had, like, I have Pixel phones, right? I have a Pixel charging box. If I did decide to say, screw it, I'm going to iOS completely. I'm all invested in iOS. Give me an iPhone 12. I don't got to worry about a charger box. Really, I don't, because I have a bunch of Pixel charger bricks that are Type C. So the cord that comes with them is Type C to Lightning, so I'm able to charge. I see it. But I understand where Technoid's coming from. They should have made this where it was included in the Pro, not in the regular. I understand. But maybe they wanted to give a little bit more on the regular since they're putting a lot into the Pro. When you think about the Pro and all the things that it's offering, right? And maybe they're like, okay, well, you know, you get the Pro, go and get this this fast charger for the Pro. That's like $50. You know, people are gonna do it. I mean, you know, people spend their money how they spend their money. I don't give a crap how people spend their money. You could be bougie and whatever. That's you. Do you? You only got one life in this world. So why the hell do you care what everyone judges you as? If you want to rock it like you own it, so you buy the top tier in storage capacity iPhone 12 Pro Max. And all the accessories that goes with it, like the wallet magnet snap onto it to hold your credit cards and all these other things, right? You buy all that stuff, right? Might as well go into the Apple store and say, hey, what? This is a fast charging wall brick and it costs $60. Pay me out. I mean, well, sell me out. I'm paying. Why not? Rock it like you live. Who cares? That's the thing that I tell people. Who cares? Use tech how you want to use it. Use it how you want to use it. Buy what you want to buy. Like what you want to like. Who cares? I could have an opinion and say that, software matters more than hardware. Apple Watch says it's equally the same. Does that make him wrong? No. Does that make me wrong? Hell no, it doesn't. I agree to disagree with him, and I leave it at that. I'm not going to debate him on it because I'm not out here to change his mind. He likes iPhones. He's super excited. I'm not going to crap on his iPhone experience. You know what I mean? I like the Pixel. I went bananas over it. Some came in and started going, oh, well, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. I don't care. That's their thought about it. But I'm not going to go and crap on anyone else's experience with the iPhone. It was a great thing to see. The focus that they had on the cameras, the focuses that they had on video, on cinematography with videos. Those things were great. That industrial waste argument isn't holding weight when there's AirPods and Apple Watches still are reusable. When they break, they can't salvage parts. So for me, it feels money based. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, right? Why they went with that? Because that would be the only natural best way to tell people you're not getting a charger brick with your iPhone, which made the box smaller, which reduced what we had to, how much material we had to use to build a box to house this phone. And it reduces, industrial waste, right? It was a great way to tell people that you're not getting a charger brick without people getting pissed off, like, what? Type of thing. Just let them down easy and just say it's because of the environment. And then the back shot of everything back there that on top of that was it was a great play by Apple. I call that a Steve Jobs move. Me and Steve talk about it all the time, and he works in this field. Yeah. CF for the super chat. Thank you so much. At the end of the day, we all win. We have a Pixel 5 and an iPhone 12 to choose. Yeah. To be quite honest with you, if I had the money to burn, I would go get me an iPhone 12 Pro. I would use it would really condense what I use to make videos if I was to make videos. And I feel like that it's right up my alley as a content creator. If I went back to being majority videos and slightly live streaming, I would go that route. Since I'm not, the 12 mini would be something I would definitely go after. I would. And I would make the 64 gig model work because a lot of the things that I do auto backs up to Google. Like I use Google Photos. So all the photos that I would take on the iPhone would back up to Google Photos. I wouldn't need to buy additional cloud storage on, iCloud or anything like that. So yeah, if I was to rock Pixel 5, iPhone 12 mini, I would rock those two phones. The 12 mini would be like what I would use to even still create content because iPhones do record a little bit better in video when it comes to the images and stuff like that. So a smaller form factor on a tripod makes it easier for me to maneuver. I can vlog and do things. That's what I would do. Oh. Also, they released a new Beats headphones called the Flex. It's $50 and it's USB-C. Who released it? Apple? Did I miss it? Or was this just like an unannounced release? But anyways, here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. If you guys want to hang out and stay. But I am going to close off this podcast. It's about 2 hours long, 2 hours, 20 minutes long. I'm going to close out this podcast, just kind of close it out. I'm actually going to open up an aftermath show and invite some people to come in and talk and just give their reaction because I want to hear Apple Watch's, I want to see his enthusiasm, his reaction to it because I think it's that's my thing. I like seeing people like get excited about, the tech that they like. So I'm going to send an invite to him. I'm going to send an invite to several people. Technoid, I'll send one out to you so you can come in and talk with us. And let's just do another hour of just chit-chatting about the event. So for everyone that came in, thanks so much for it. CF, thanks for the super chat again. Really appreciate it. Give me about 5 minutes to set this up. I'll send links out to those that I'm going to invite in, and let's talk about this. And as always, aloha.